Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, and we are here with a brand new theory talking about Dexter season 4. It was Lundy. It was FBI special agent, or special agent FBI, whatever tickles your fancy. Was he killed too early? Season 4 brought back for the Trinity killer. You know, he's like, I think that cycle brings me back to Miami. And Frank Lundy was right, cross-legged on the floor, all that good stuff, man, just waiting for the Trinity killer to drop some scraps. And as we clearly seen that when it actually happened, big Frank Lundy was right there on the scene. He managed to work out where the kill was going to happen next, but then him and Trinity bump into each other. A few short hours later, Trinity is catching Frank with a bullet. Or at least we thought it was Trinity. Honestly, we've only watched up to episode 9 of the season. He's already watched it, so it's a bit more interesting if I do the theories, because it's like, I don't really know what happens. I would probably bet good money that Christine was the one that pulled the trigger, because the line about Frank Lundy and his eyes being open would suggest that she would had to have been there. And it almost makes sense that Christine would be the one to do it, now with the reveal that, you know, Trinity is in fact her father. But back to Frank Lundy, that's the whole purpose of this video. Talk about Frank Lundy, right? And see, Frank Lundy, folks, R.I.P. But was he killed too early? I thought when he died in episode 4, well, technically episode 5, because I mean, I could tell by the amount of blood like that Frank Lundy was gone. It seemed when you were around episode 4 or 5 that it would have been too early, but I just don't see how the rest of the season really happens with Trinity, because then Dexter is running around this guy Trinity, and Frank obviously knows who he is, but Dexter was only able to establish who Trinity was due to the tapes that Lundy had. So when you break it down, you actually think of it, it kind of had to go the way it did, which is Frank Lundy, sadly, catching a bullet. Not really that good for him. Of course it's no. Nobody wants Frank Lundy to catch a bullet. And when I knew he was coming back for season 4, I mean, don't get me wrong, man, I'm not surprised that he died, because I think like it makes sense for Trinity Killer to kill him. But I was kind of shocked about how quickly he died. But again, as I said, it got Dexter on Trinity's case quicker, and it got more interaction between Trinity and Dexter. So for me, it was the correct decision, even if it was a bit early for Frank Lundy. I think it was absolutely the correct decision. You know, I mean, yeah, it could have been delayed by like 2 episodes, potentially. You know what I mean? But who knows? But there's always these questions about, did Lundy know the entire time about Dexter? Well, I mean, I'm not too sure if he knew the entire time. But regardless if he knew the entire time or not, big Frank Lundy, probably like one of my favourite. I mean, he's not a minor character, but you know, he's not exactly a big cast member. He is in season 2, but season 4, you know what I mean? I really like Lundy. I think by the end of this show, Frank Lundy could sneak a top 10. Hell, maybe more. I need to think about it. Anyway, guys, Frank Lundy wasn't killed too early, even though it may seem like it at the time, brother.